Hello, and welcome to day 24 of the 30-day challenge of working through depression. I don't know about you, but I am running on just a little bit of sleep because it's a huge day for my country, and I think other countries are pretty invested in the election, the 2024 elections. I'm overwhelmed. I have to be honest, as a conservative woman, the past 4 years have been incredibly stressful for me to process. I've pretty much, have kept my opinions to myself. When the 2020 elections happened, it was what it was. And, I took a back seat to see like what was going to happen to our nation and, what improvements could be. So the last 4 years of just crazy living expenses, just being really stressed about what goes on at the southern border, just the influx of drugs and crime and just horrible, horrible crimes that have been happening to some of our women and young girls in that area. I just, as a woman and as a mother, let me just be honest here. The last 4 years have been very unsettling and stressful and difficult. I just feel like our current administration is not respected by international leaders, and international leaders have taken advantage of that. I feel like a lot of lives have been lost needlessly because we don't have the respect of other nations. I try to think of one positive thing that this current administration has done for our country, and I can't think of anything. I mean, living expenses are at an all-time high. National security is just a mess. International relations are awful. So especially the middle class, we can't catch a break. It's just for those who make enough money where they still have to pay their taxes without government help. I think that's the class of people that are hit the hardest. I think I'm accurate in saying that it's the middle to upper middle class that are hit the hardest because we still have to pay for everything and we're taxed up to here, and it is really difficult. And I try to pack my kids healthy lunches, and wow, it blows my mind how much money is being spent on groceries. So I just want to say to anyone who's disappointed in the 2024 election results, I understand how frustrating and disappointing it can be and devastating it can be when the person you voted for does not make it. So my heart goes out to you in that. I understand. I think we all know how that feels. But I would say, please give the conservative voters, give them some grace, because like I said, the last 4 years have been extremely challenging and difficult. And obviously the 4 years prior, things were more prosperous and secure. So the past 4 years, we've just had to see things go woo, and on a national level and an international level. And that's just it's been devastating. It's devastating to families. Maybe if you're single and you have all day to goof off, I don't know. I don't know if it affects you or not, but as someone who's thinking long-term about the next generation, it's just like, what's going to be left? If things go the way they are and we're plundered and none of the international leaders respect us, what's going to be left in 4 to 10 years, 20 years, what's really going to be the state of our country? Yeah. So anywho, I just want to assure you that me as a conservative woman, I just want to lead a quiet life. Okay. I'm not out here to bully anyone. I just want to live a quiet, responsible life and see my family taken care of and see my country taken care of. That's it. And I feel like that's what a lot of Americans feel. And that's what brought a lot of Americans together when they voted yesterday. It's just like, look, we don't all agree on everything, but we all agree that we want our families taken care of and we want our country taken care of. Is that too much to ask? I don't think that's an offensive request. I really don't. And I understand how maybe, some extreme liberal elitists who are in their fancy mansions with their security, their personal security, their maids, their, people who go and run and do stuff for them, they don't live in the pressure that the average American lives under. They just don't. They've got all their money. The influx of groceries and living expenses doesn't really matter to them. The just complete disregard for security, in our country, that doesn't really affect them. They've got their personal guards. They're good. They're tucked away in their big, spacious mansions, right? But it's like, what about the average people? What about the people living down south? What about the people who are closest to the crime and the drugs that are just pouring through in unprecedented amounts, unprecedented numbers? I wish I could talk, but my lack of sleep is kicking in. So it's a real concern for the average American. And I just want to say I'm grateful, extremely grateful for a shot at just having a little bit of peace and security return in the next 4 years. I'll be honest, I sat back for 4 years. I didn't complain. And, of what I've seen the last 4 years has not persuaded me in any way, shape, or form to want that to continue, because things are just getting worse and worse and worse year by year by year. So, but I also want to speak up for, people who are conservative for the most part. I don't know like millions of conservative people, but I know the ones in my circle. Like I said, we just want to lead quiet, responsible lives. We just want our families taken care of. We just want there to be peace and security. So I ask that, think about that and respect that. And I don't know, I'm trying to think how peace and security is, how some people see that as offensive. I don't know. But I just want to say on day 24, the challenge would be to just take some time to really evaluate what you believe and why you believe it, and how many people your beliefs affect, I guess I would say. Are you thinking about a lot of people, or are you thinking about yourself? Are you thinking about future generations? I just encourage you to do that on day 24.